Hi everyone, it's Kim.
And I'm Jen.
And welcome back to another episode of Girlfriend We Feel Ya.
We got a good topic today.
And we're being joined by a sweet kitty who needs all the love.
So sweet. We'll get all the pets. Today, we're going to chat about the mindfuck of perfectionism, which I think any one of you watching can relate to in some degree. So it's something, being in the fitness industry, it's something that I deal with a lot. And unfortunately, like Kim and I were chatting before we got on here. Oh, wait, cheers, by the way.
Cheers.
Yay. Just how the fitness industry kind of drives perfectionism in eating and dieting and workouts and hardcore and, you know, never miss a Monday. And so it doesn't really have to be that way. And I think the message is kind of slightly changing, but there's still a lot of that out there, don't you think?
Yeah, there's a lot of that out there. Even when it's kind of masked as not being that, it's still that.
I know.
I think so.
So I know for me, it's a conversation that I have with clients on a daily basis. Though the word perfectionism isn't necessarily used, it's a conversation of, not missing workouts or eating a certain way or messing up on their eating or not losing the weight that they thought they were going to lose in a certain amount of time, and the kind of all or nothing. And I guess that could kind of coincide with perfectionism.
Yeah.
The all or nothing mindset, where, the clients will come to me and they're like, I've done it all. I was hardcore. I did everything right. I did everything perfect for, 2 weeks, a month, several months max. And then something happens, life, work, kids, they just can't sustain that level of perfectionism, we're going to call it. And they go off the rails, and then they go toward the opposite end of the spectrum. And they feel bad, they feel stuck, they feel guilty, they don't know what to do, they don't know how to move forward with kind of being in the middle. And that's where I try to help my clients, is finding like what perfection is for them and finding that middle ground. And I know for me, it's a topic that I'm passionate about because I'm a very type A driven, and I would say I was a perfectionist before. Probably way before you knew me. Everything had to be, done perfectly, very regimented, very scheduled.
And where do you think that came from?
I don't know. I mean, my parents weren't really like that.
Right.
So I don't know.
I was going to say, y'all home life wasn't like that, girl, because y'all, I know.
Maybe I was trying to do the opposite of what...
Right. Well, maybe that was just like the one thing you could control when you got older. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, that's like...
No, that's a good, because I wasn't pushed to be that way. My parents weren't that way. So I don't know where I got that really driven, hardcore, get everything done. So you're going to do it, do all the things and do it perfectly. And over the years, I think, maybe life experience, age, just has kind of taught me to realize that perfection doesn't exist, and nothing bad happens if you're not perfect.
Right.
And I was actually having this conversation with a client this morning when she just got back from a trip, and she jumped on the scale, and we kind of laughed about it. And she said, normally I wouldn't have done that.
Right.
But she said, I was just curious, which I appreciated. And I said, okay. And she said, my weight stayed the same. And, I didn't have any, it didn't upset me. It didn't, there's no emotion. It was just curiosity that I weighed myself. But she said in the past, I would have been really upset that, I didn't lose weight or blah, blah, blah. So, things like that, we can't constantly focus on outcomes.
Right.
Like looking at outcomes, whether it's the scale or making a certain amount of money or getting a certain amount of clients or whatever. What else do you think people really obsess over or try to be perfect on?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I actually, I have 2 grown stepdaughters, but I didn't birth my own children, so, and same with you. But I have friends that have kids, and I think there's like a real competitive edge in that mommy arena as well. But again, we were talking about this before we started recording. I think it's the whole. I kind of feel personally like perfectionism and comparison go hand in hand, because if you didn't compare your progress, your life, your house, your clothes, your kids to other people, then what standard would you have to, kind of try to be perfect? Which I told you I hate that word. I mean,
Right.
it's not even a word I use because it's just not real. Like, I don't even know what it means.
Right. There is what is perfect. What is perfect to you is going to be different from perfect to me anyway.
Exactly.
But
yeah, I mean, I just think it's another cog in the wheel. Like, we get caught in that, trap. Because I think everybody's idea of perfection and happiness, right? I mean, I guess, if what good is striving for perfection if it's not going to make you happy?
Right.
So let's say you're just really looking to have like this really happy and fulfilled life. Everybody's idea of that is going to be totally different. If you're being real with yourself, so
I guess it gets tricky when people, it starts to stress them out.
yeah.
And that's what I see. It stresses them out. Counting every little calorie, every macro, missing workouts, not being able to complete a workout, not being able to do whatever. It stresses them out. And then they end up stopping completely, and they kind of get stuck on that. So I think, like, I know for me, when I started trying to, life got in the way, and I just realized, like we talked about earlier, I can't do it all perfectly. Like,
Yeah.
we can't do life and be a good wife and a good friend and a good business owner and a good, get in the 5 great workouts a week perfectly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but and I think this is something you teach your clients too. And I mean, I will say, I'm not a fitness trainer, but I'm a photographer, and I photograph a lot of women. I do a lot of boudoir photography, and so I work with a lot of women. And I get emails weekly about, hey, I'm still trying to reach this fitness goal. Can we push my shoot to X date? They need more time to get their body right, and I'm always fighting against that, because I want, and I think it's great for people to have goals, but at the same time, I really want women to have this appreciation for their bodies in the moment, and understand that, there is no perfect standard
Yeah.
of body, and but
or perfect way to eat,
right,
or dress, or
right,
whatever.
yeah. So I think it's really important that we don't get so stuck in that mindset of having to do something perfectly that we don't even start. So, and it can be a real trap sometimes, because you're so afraid of failure, or I'm not going to do this perfectly the first time, so I'm not going to do it at all. Which, I mean, if you really think about that, it's not even realistic, because you've never done something before, so you're just not going to do it perfectly the first time, second time, and probably not the third time either. So the key is just to start small. Like, the slow and steady wins the race. I mean, if you start with little things and don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed with the whole like perfection picture, then you're going to be better for it, and you'll get there, and you'll get to a place you want to be that feels good to you and that you feel happy in.
Yeah, I think for like the thing that got me over it was just kind of like telling myself, what's the worst thing that could happen if I didn't do this perfectly? Like, what's the worst thing? Nothing.
Nothing. I mean, unless you're performing open heart surgery.
Well, yes.
I mean, in a situation like that, you probably want to get that shit right.
Yeah.
But, you know, that is, you know, but just in everyday life stuff, I mean, there's no big consequence, you know, if you cannot perform the task up to a level of perfection, you know.
Or, you know, volunteer for all the things and say yes to all the things and do everything for everybody and try to do, you know, do everything for yourself. It just leads to burnout.
Yeah. So I was thinking about something. So I have always been, I was telling Jenn earlier, like I've never really considered myself a perfectionist. I wouldn't say that, but there is one thing that I used to be so intimidated by. Like, it was so intimidating to me that I just wouldn't even attempt it. Can you guess what it is?
Being on video.
I mean, now it's something I do fairly often, like, but so until I got married about 9 years ago, I'd never really attempted to cook. Really. So I have, I don't know how it happened, but I have managed to collect this amazing group of women friends that all are just incredible cooks, okay? Like, so my friend Shauna out in Seattle, like, she could be a chef. You just love to cook, you can throw things together. Leslie, Aaron, like, all of these friends that have just been, like, always so, make it look so easy. And I just have always found the kitchen, like, you know, navigating that to be so intimidating.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so I would just make basic things like, you know, some sort of egg dish or something that was just like so basic. And so in the last few years, like with the help of several friends, including Shauna, who bought me like a one of those mortar, you know, to make fresh guacamole, and like she was like, you guys start small, and she bought me like some easy cookbooks, and now I'm doing the HelloFresh thing, and so it's like I'm not perfect at it by any stretch. I'm not a chef. I probably never will be. It still isn't natural to me, but like I'm finding that I actually enjoy it, and I'm understanding, like, you know, what spices go together, and you know that you can add lemon to just about anything and it's going to taste good, you know, like all these things that seem so intimidating to me. But I mean, so maybe that's one kind of example of being so intimidated and overwhelmed that I wouldn't even start. And now I just kind of go into each endeavor with like, okay, you know, if it's halfway tasty, like I've succeeded, you know. So,
and by the way, she does cook good.
I mean, it's a real work in progress.
But look, it's good progress.
Yeah, but I think it all kind of was connected to like me feeling like I'm not, and this is probably going into another episode, but I swear, I think it was this whole idea that, like, you know, if you weren't the perfect, like, little wife and you didn't have, like, you know, I mean, I just, my life looked so different than that at the, you know, when I was younger. Like, I wasn't married, I was single, you know, really until I was 41, and, you know, so I don't know, I guess I thought it's something, like, I couldn't do.
I know.
Is that weird?
Well, I mean, I felt the same way when I decided to grow my online business. I was paralyzed by all the things I didn't know how to do, and putting my face on video and talking, and
yeah, but you're so good at it now.
And even just or you know, writing posts and sharing, I'm just like, I can agonize over it.
Yeah.
But it's gotten better for sure.
But aside from work, so if you had to say there's one thing, like, that's not related to business or your career, what would you say there's like one thing that you've really had to work on? Like, just say, okay, I might not ever do this perfectly, but hard, isn't it?
Yeah, because I've really let go of so much. And I guess keeping my house neat, like,
girl, I was running around before you got here like, oh my God, look at this downstairs bathroom. Like, I mean.
And it's like you said, like, I'll think like, oh, Joe's going to come home. He's going to think like, what has she been doing all day? I'm a bad wife. When I'm like, I'm working.
Bitch, please.
I'm working my ass
You're working your ass off.
But that's my own.
Right.
That's my own, like, am I being like a good, like the wife, being like doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
Just having everything, like the laundry will be piled up now for days when I used to put it away. Maybe this sounds, not like a big
I
deal.
think lots of, look, I have a friend who literally, I won't mention any names, but she'll know who she is when she watches this, kind of had a breakdown about something like that. Like, she was just trying to do it all, have all the laundry ready, have all the, like, the dinner ready when her husband got home, and, and I just had to sit her down and say, you realize, like, that's not realistic, because you're not just, so this particular friend doesn't have a, work out of the home, which is bullshit, because, like, she's, she works very hard in the home. But she just had this idea that she had to be the perfect wife, the perfect, cook, the perfect mom, the perfect everything. And I mean, it's just, that is a recipe for, like, a nervous breakdown. Like, you cannot, and also, ladies, if you are a stay-at-home mom, which we know that really means you are a taxi cab, in the car line, at the grocery store, trying to get all your shit done, mom. Right. Just, your husband can also do things besides work at his job outside the home.
This is true.
Hashtag just saying.
Yes.
I just, being a mom is a real job. Like, being a mom, maintaining a household is a real job. Yeah. That's another video too.
Yeah, that, I don't know how you ladies do it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. We're just dog moms. And like I said, I have 2 grown stepdaughters, but they're in their 20s and they're doing okay on their own. So, it's, I still struggle. I don't even have little children at home, and I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to get it all done every day?
I think that too. I'm like, how am I, feeling overwhelmed? Like today, trying to get here, I was like, trying to do so many things and get it done and be here. And I'm like, when I get home, I'll be able to do anything, and then start thinking, well, tomorrow, and I'm like, oh my God, what if I had kids and job and house and like, whew.
Yeah.
And I keep Alex and Aiden for several days. It's like a tornado.
Yeah, those are her adorable
my
nephews.
Sweet little buddies. So yeah, props to all you moms out there.
Yeah,
you're super women.
You really are.
But yeah, it just breaks my heart to just hear how much this whole, like, I didn't do things perfectly conversation that I have to have on a daily basis.
Yeah, I'm sure. You only work with women, and we are just the hardest on ourselves. That is for sure.
Yeah, so I just say, how do you overcome this? Ask yourself, what is the worst thing that can happen if I miss the workout, leave the dishes in the sink, call it a day, half a day, and sit on your ass and drink wine? Or
nothing's gonna happen.
Nothing's gonna happen.
That's what takeout's for.
So yeah, I say stop being perfect and just do you, and do what makes you happy. At the end of the day, it has to make you happy. Your friends, your life, your house, your workouts, your food, everything has to be things that make you happy, not anybody else.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, so let's just try to be happy and take it day to day.
Yeah.
Day to day.
Day to day.
I've only had a half a glass of wine. Almost a whole glass. So, but yes. So, ladies, and I'm saying ladies, because I assume most of our audience are women.
Yeah, probably.
You know, we're okay just doing what we do. You just do the best you can, and that's enough. It's really enough. And if you don't get it all done today, there's tomorrow and the next day. Just don't let yourself get into that place where you get so overwhelmed that you don't even start. So just kind of compartmentalize things and start small. Just do one little thing at a time, and you'll be good.
And don't overthink it. Just do it.
Oh God, don't overthink it. Because I'm the queen of that, overthinking that shit.
That's probably another topic, but hey. Anyway, if you guys resonate with this, let us know. If you have any questions or comments or any ideas for future topics, let us know, and make sure you please subscribe. We really would appreciate it. And we'll be back next week.
All right. You guys have a good one. Bye.
Bye.